Apartment Therapy. I'm Audrey. This is Biba. Welcome to our apartment in Paris, France. Come on in. I'm a clothing designer here in Paris, France. I work from my house and our clothes are made here in Paris. So originally I'm from DC, Virginia area of the US. So when I first moved in here, my priority was to not buy anything new. I love vintage clothing. I collect vintage clothing. Why would I ever go and buy brand new furniture? So the only new things in my apartment are my sofa and my bed. So when you walk into the apartment, there's basically 3 different ways you can go: to the kitchen, to the dining room, or to the living room and my closet room. This is my entrance. One of the very unique things about this entrance are the tiles. They are very Catalan, Barcelona, which remind me of Spain, which is where I spent most of my life. So I love that touch here. It really feels like there's a part of Spain in this otherwise very Parisian apartment. This over here, I actually found on the street. Very often you can find pieces of furniture that people are throwing away on the street in Paris. This is where I put everything that might be in my pockets that I don't want to deal with. So there's all kinds of crap in here. There's toilet paper in here. And this right here is the toilet room, the weird little toilet room. So Parisian bathrooms are usually divided into like a shower sink room and then a weird, strange little toilet room. The bathroom where my shower and sink is very, very tiny, but they have managed to put so much in there. There's like shelves behind the door. There's a washing machine. There's huge space under the sink, but it's incredibly small. And then here is my living room, but I also work from here. It's a very multi-purpose room. When coming up with the design of this room and all the rooms, you know, most people, if you're not working from home like I am, I'm moving around the apartment all day. So while aesthetics was my #1 priority, I wanted to be able to change things very quickly and very efficiently to make room for like my mannequins or a photo shoot or whatever else is happening in here. Notice I don't have any rugs in here. Rugs really make it more difficult to move furniture around. My biggest design regret in this apartment is the sofa. Personally, I think it's too terracotta. It's not brown toned enough. It's too warm. So to fix that, I covered it in cushions and I bought a lampshade that matches the sofa to sort of tie it in so it sort of coordinates. I did like spend like a night deep diving, like dyeing sofa fabric. With my tiny washing machine, I could just imagine there being dye everywhere. I'm like, what did I do? I really wanted to do a double coffee table moment because I'm moving around this space a lot. To have a really big coffee table would be more difficult to move. So I can just move one of them out of the way. And I also wanted a warm marble tone to match my sofa mistake. And I also think it matches the color of this very well. All marble or all dark wood would be too much. So I like how one is light and one is dark, and I think they complement each other. When I walk into this room, what I really want to feel is pretty much just everything about me, my life, what I've lived, and who I am. Like these are like some of my all-time favorite books, and they're really, really varied. Like you have like Slim Aaron's Women, he's like one of my favorite photographers, but then I'm a huge weightlifter, so you have like Arnold Schwarzenegger's book. It's very random, but it's very much who I am. This is probably my favorite piece of furniture in the apartment. It's secondhand. I bought it on Salensi, I think for like 160 euros. Here is where I keep a specific type of chaos. Like it's so beautiful on top, and then you look in, it's like, good grief. I have not one single storage tip. Not one. So this is a really bizarre secret compartment. I have no idea why it's here, but I guess it's to hide your valuables, which I have none of, so it's empty. So this is my closet room. This is where I store a lot of my designs, but also my own clothes. I also collect a lot of things for shoots, so there's lots of like vintage bags, vintage shoes, vintage hats in here. Because of my work, I really needed a space where I could store clothes, but also steam clothes and style clothes, and I really do that all in here. I designed this on the IKEA website to fit into this space. It's actually very difficult because there's actually a door there. And again, the floors are crooked, so like I couldn't extend it out more because it would, slant. This is a piece from a secondhand website here in France called Silenzi. It's a great place to find secondhand, like antique furniture. The only thing I would say is very classically me, it is not practical. So every time you want to open a drawer, you have to use a key, which this is where I keep like my socks and underwear, which is something I utilize and open a lot. And very often, because I'm me, I cannot find the key, so. Because the key, like, it'll drop out and then I'll be like, where's the key? I need to put some goddamn socks on. Hi, peeps. So this is my dining room. It's a completely round room, which I really love. So I bought this teeny tiny, very impractical, useless piece of furniture just to hide the tangle of cords behind it. And I actually put this basket here because when I was walking in this room, I could still see some of the cords. And I was like, I cannot possibly tolerate seeing a single cord. So this is where I usually go out onto my balcony, which is very long. It spans the whole apartment. My tips for furnishing apartments secondhand are probably choosing a color palette that honors a space. For me, I went with the hardwood floors and the gilded gold mirror and fireplaces in my apartment, and that was the basis, the foundation of my color scheme. Saying that, I'm incapable of measuring things. So I would be like, oh yeah, that'll fit, and then it wouldn't fit, or it'd be like way too small. So I did like make a lot of mistakes. Like the chair in my bedroom, I actually thought that would be this size. And in a moment of mania, I bought a saw and I tried to saw off the arms to make it into a footstool, but clearly it didn't work. There's still sawdust here. I really tried. No, you're gonna knock the pillows over. No. Hey, come here. Sit down. Sit down. No. Okay, just stay there. Now we're in my bedroom. I wanted to keep the space very, very simple and minimal as like, kind of like a place where it's very, very peaceful and very like muted tones, nothing too warm or too bright. So my tips for styling a mantle, I like my mantle to almost look accidental, like effortless. So I like different textures. I like ceramic with like piles of books. I also think for a mantle, it's almost mandatory to have like a scent, be it like a candle you really love or like a room spray. I think that always looks really beautiful. For a bookshelf, if you're styling a bookshelf, you should always include things that are not books. I feel like when it's just books, it's very heavy, very like blocky. Different textures like marble, gold, wood, I love. And you can use very unexpected things as bookends. Like I love these pearl heels that I've had for years. So this is very practical storage like around my bed. And I really have crammed it full of all kinds of things. This was already here in the apartment when I moved in, and it is for facilitating stepping up into the balcony. So this is my kitchen. It's kind of a weird small layout, but it's fine because I don't cook a lot of elaborate meals. I do love the black and white floors. I think that's very unexpected in a Parisian kitchen. And the cabinets I plan to paint some sort of green to really bring some brightness in there. So I think investing in your space for me has been, it's actually been like a full circle moment because one, I've always wanted to be in Paris and I've always wanted to live in this very classically Parisian apartment, but also to have a space where I can visualize and see my brand. It relaxes me to know that it's not just all up here and I've managed to convey it in some physical, tangible way outside of what's in my head. I learned that you really can sort of showcase or feature your personality in your interior. And I really feel like when you step into my space, you get a real sense of who I am. And I didn't think that that was really possible before.